Last time on Desperate Attune, the crew returned triumphant after a successful hit against Cutlet. They paraded down the streets and feasted on the sausages they'd liberated from the butcher, but all was not well. Bidrohi was badly injured, and a score of this size put a target on the crew's back. Moonlit, quite displeased with both of these things, went to work shoring up the boarding house's defenses, and pinned the blame squarely on Al-Qadir, who was trying to steal some of the thunder. Initial efforts to treat Bidrohi with leeches was unsuccessful, but a visit from Ptolemy, an actual doctor, fixed him right up. There was a catch. A devotee of the Hungering One, Ptolemy insisted on setting up a soup kitchen at the boarding house, at a time where the crew could hardly afford to have strangers coming and going. But with danger came opportunity. While keeping an eye on the priests of the Hungering One, Saeeda overheard them speculating about the crew's connection to a certain Priti Chandra Videha. Priti Chandra was, of course, the intended recipient of the passport the crew had stolen all that time ago, and now she was helping the Ankayats look for Salman, the man she was meant to marry. The news was soon corroborated by Al-Qadir. Priti Chandra, he said, had been investigating Salman's ties to the King of Lies. The investigation would eventually lead to Saeeda and the House of Endings, which had been registered with her stolen passport. Of course, she wasn't doing this work alone. She'd hired a lawyer well known for dealings with the Khatrisi, Hardil Subramanyan. Once she put two and two together, she'd go to war against the crew to regain her title. Al-Qadir had his own reasons for getting involved. He'd much rather Priti Chandra not find Salman and marry him instead. So he hatched a plan to waylay Priti Chandra's investigations so that he and the crew might both benefit. Al-Qadir had weaseled his way into Priti Chandra's inner circle. Under the guise of helping her navigate the bureaucracy of Kagazrania, he'd attempt to sweet-talk her, and Bidrohi's assistance would be welcome. Furthermore, they'd have to intercept Hardil. The crew didn't know much about him, but they figured a lawyer of his stature would need bespoke tailoring, so they asked Jersey for information. Luckily, the tailor had a detailed dossier listing all of Hardil's clothing and trap suppliers. Tailing Hardil from one of his usual stops, Mushfiq learned that he met clients at a rowdy Severosi pub in Kagazrania, where it just might be possible to kidnap him.
Uduasha City, where the sun is a mirror and the moon a shadow, where dancers cavort in forbidden operas, making love to forgetting and flame, where the wealthy play at war with silver swords and silken sashes, where the people mine the dead heart of a burning star for cannonballs and pipework, and where 1,000 secrets hide in a forest of paper and ink. Here, the 5 keybearers reside, the 5 who know the secrets of the broken gates of death. 5 only. There is no 6th spire, forlorn and forgotten in the desert. There is no one who looks to the displaced, the poor and destitute and landless, whose ancestry has been stripped from them by foreign looms and foreign sparkcraft, and no one has ever heard of the House of Endings. But this is their story. Their roots pulled up and burned, they stand in filth up to their necks, and that is precisely why they must keep their heads ever high. Welcome to Uduasha, immigrant. May it fear the name of the house you will build. Welcome to Desperate Attune, an actual play podcast about characters with their identities in peril, played by an international cast devoted to fiction-first gaming, collaborative world-building, and complex character drama. Taking a step back, there are a lot of moving parts, so just to re-summarize what is going on here, so that everyone is clear about it. Priti Chandra is implying Hardil Subramanyan and Al-Qadir, two wildly different people, to find out what has become of Salman and of her certificate of nobility. And she is very close to unraveling this, and she has hired Hardil to find out basically who the hell is the King of Lies and how is he connected to all this. That's like the linchpin. So if Hardil uncovers that information, the jig is up. And you were going to try to stop this from happening by just kidnapping Hardil and presumably distracting Al-Qadir and Priti Chandra somehow.
I love that. Yeah, this is inspiring in me the same emotion that it inspired in me the last time we tried to kidnap him. Except now I am literally in a position to stop it. Instead, Saeeda's going to be like, yes, excellent solution. Why would we not enact this?
Yes.
So,
Yeah, just there are a lot of moving parts to this course. So just re-summarizing like what we're doing so everyone is clear about the goals here. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to meet him and pretend to be a client, and then as soon as he's done getting kidnapped, I'll rush over to help Al-Qadr? Question mark, or not help him? I don't know.
I just want to point out that if you leave Al-Qadr unsupervised, things may not go as you intend
Oh,
in the meeting
man.
with Princess
Yeah.
Chandra,
Alright,
but-
maybe in that case it makes sense for Saeeda to be the one talking
Maybe,
to
yeah,
Hardil.
you know what? Yeah, good point. Maybe I will be the potential client so that Bidrohi can supervise Al-Qadr
Okay,
into
fair enough.
not, destroying our reputation just by proxy.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm perfectly capable of being the client too. I already had my problem,
Mhm.
but you can do it. It's fine.
Thanks.
Yes.
I think it's very important that we share these duties around, and also
Okay,
now,
tell you what.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to suggest to you, when
Yes.
you're like, okay, you're going to be, Auntie, okay, here is bulletproof ironclad case that would really appeal to a man who is apparently trying to build a reputation as a defender of the Kethrisi people and their interests. Look at this libel. And then I slam the mud poem and the stick figure drawing down in front of you.
You're going to hire Hardil to sue Cherubino for writing mud? Okay.
First of all, you don't sue your allies. That's like rule one of being somebody's friend is like not suing them.
Auntie, I love how much you're getting into this client role, but I will remind you, we're not actually hiring this man, we're kidnapping him.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean that was out of character. I think in character, Saeeda will just look at you and say, okay. That's it. It's probably the most dangerous thing that she could have said to you, and that's what she does.
Wow, today is full of people being laconic to be. Interesting.
Well, okay. Let's. Are we ready
Yeah.
to go to engagement?
I think we are.
Okay.
I will say I'm definitely getting Mr. Rohini's help, but I think I'm going to flashback that. But yeah.
I think we can just include it in the engagement role, to be honest, because it just
Yeah.
makes sense that you would. Mr. Rohini
Yeah.
is your ally, and this is Rohini's turf. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to be
So-
clear, do we want Al-Qadr to seduce this woman or not?
I don't mind either way, to be honest. I think it would be
Yeah.
funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's not a bad person for some definition of bad.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
And who knows? Maybe she is a bad person. In which case, yeah, I don't want her anywhere near us. But
I love how Al-Qadr has been involved in so many of your scores for no good reason.
Yep.
But,
Except that we love him.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, is this score particularly bold or daring?
Yeah, Kagasaranian, I think so.
Yeah,
fair
but
enough.
like, I mean, sorry, we are trying to kidnap somebody with that while their pants are down. Correct.
Yes.
I can't
yes.
earlier.
On that note, is this operation complex or contingent
Yes.
on many factors? I think
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
we're back to one.
Because it just occurred to me something. Because when I first said what the plan was, it seemed to all fall into place. But what I didn't consider was how do we actually get him out of the pub without anyone noticing?
Yeah.
Cherikatam,
I-
this is a high value extraction target, and I trust you fully.
Yeah,
You don't even
okay,
have to tell us.
All right,
This is the kind of stuff you don't plan in Blades, but it is an excellent question.
I'll think of something.
And I look forward to playing to find out.
Yeah.
Yes. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Arguably,
Yes.
yes.
He'll have his pants
Who
down.
is not weak in the loop? Tell me this.
So, two,
Who is
two
not?
dice. Uh-huh. Is the target strong against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? I don't think so. In
He
this
does
case.
not. He demonstrably did not have any defenses against this.
No. And also, he has lost his very, very powerful backer that he had in the last
Yeah.
season.
I mean,
so,
he's not
yeah.
expecting someone to do this to him in Kagasarania because it's a very stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's do
I will.
that.
I will also say, like, how likely is it that it happens to you twice?
Yes. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
Rohini.
Yes, Mr. Rohini.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's 3 dice. Are any enemies or rivals interfering in this operation? Are they?
Let me check real quick.
Is House Enixis interfering? No, not yet. Is that the feeling?
I don't think the houses are interfering. They're looking for Salman, too.
Is
But
Captain Peregrine involved, or is Omid involved? They're both like people
Oh.
who are tangentially could be.
Oh,
I don't
know.
I was gonna say we also have a ward boss whom we've been steadfastly ignoring.
yes.
Yeah.
Just something to think
And the
about.
reason you've been ignoring them actually is that Captain Peregrine sort of took over in the first.
Oh yes, that's
in
true.
the first season, and Captain Peregrine has a clock to investigate you. So,
Yes.
but let's not say any enemies or rivals are interfering this time. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't think they factor in here.
Yeah.
Are there other elements you want to consider? Yes, a higher tier target here. I do think that Hardil is still like he's not
Oh yeah.
the top mob lawyer anymore, but he still is a mob lawyer. So I think his tier and experience factor into this. So you're 2 dice.
Yeah. Oh, 2 dice? That's a lot of dice. Wow.
Yep.
I will roll because I'm pretending to be the client.
Yes.
So I'm gonna roll 2 dice of an engagement.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 6.
Oh. Very nice.
Nice.
Okay. Control position. Very
It's because
nice.
Saeeda's actually, as previously established, the vizier of the House of Lies. If there's anything they are good at, it is lying.
That's
Mhm.
true.
So,
It would be embarrassing if we were bad at this. Sorry, yeah, go on.
yes. So, Bidrohi is not going to be at the pub. Bidrohi is going to be where Al-Kader and Priti Chandra are, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but we'll start with the pub then. So the Two More Arms is it's a Severosi pub, so it's foreign. It's not the vibe you're used to, which in what we have established about this setting means I guess it
God,
looks
it's
vaguely
French.
it looks vaguely French. So it's like a French restaurant.
Yeah, okay.
There are checkered tablecloths. There are lit candles. There's
This is why it's bribery. It's not being bribed by beer. It's being bribed by haute cuisine.
yes,
It's a
Great.
brasserie.
yes,
It's a brasserie. Yeah. Mm.
yeah. It's a
Sorry,
brasserie, and it has obviously it has expensive wines.
I mean, it can still be good beer. Like, Belgium exists.
Yeah, fair enough.
And not in this world, it doesn't. But okay.
Anyway, the thing here is that Hardil is already on another job, but you're approaching him
Yes.
to be like, I want to hire you. And so I think
Yeah.
since this is a controlled position, but you are not past the first obstacle is simply approaching Hardil. And the reason this is controlled is that he was planning on meeting some contact here so he could bribe them, right?
Yeah.
And I think the straightforward reason why this is going well for you is his contact is late. So he's
Yeah,
sitting
that makes
there,
sense.
he's looking at his watch, he is very annoyed, but at the same time, the Uduashan bureaucracy moves at a glacial pace, so it's not like this is super unusual. It's
He's nursing like a wine because
exactly.
it's not unexpected. Yeah.
I think even though this place has beer, and it's probably what he plans to do the bribe with, I don't think Hardil is a beer guy. He's totally a wine
No, he
guy.
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't strike me as a beer guy either. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
Yeah, he's enjoying a glass of wine, just like waiting for his contact to show up.
Yeah. I will approach him. I think that there is some attempt at not really a disguise, but at least I've done my hair up differently or something, right? And I also have a glass of yeah, I have a glass of wine in my hand, and I will approach him and I will say, I'm so sorry to bother you. You are the Hardil Subramanyan?
Oh man, now I have to do Hardil's voice. I realized.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I was waiting for you to realize this. I was like, yes, now it's your problem.
Yes. So he looks up, the light catches in his glasses, and he says, yes.
Well, I noticed that I presume that whoever you're meeting isn't here, and I was wondering whether I could have a moment of your time.
He takes up his pocket watch, he looks at it, so long as to be rude towards you, almost as if he's hoping that as the second pass his contact will show up, and then he sighs and he says,
Yeah.
I suppose I have time.
Thank you so much. My name is Saeeda An Khatam. You may have heard of the sword school that
I'm familiar.
the
He cuts you off.
great. And she's like, okay. Well, I was wondering if I might beg your services on a matter, just your advice. I don't wish to imply that I could afford your fees, but if I might just ask a question of someone much learned in the ways of this city's power structures, its bureaucracy.
Well, there's no rule against simply asking questions, and all you'd be wasting is my time, which is being wasted already.
I'm sorry to hear that. And I think this is the first time you're seeing Saeeda kind of like not a cantankerous old auntie. Right.
Yeah.
I'm curious about something before you answer. Based on what we know about Hardil and his role in, well, briefly subjugating the Kithracy, I don't know if that's still going on through any of like Munna's shell corporations or whatever. How do you feel about this man?
I don't like him very much at all, which is why I'm trying very hard to like him.
Yes,
But,
good.
So I'm just gonna like kind of motion to the chair because I haven't really been given permission to sit yet, but I presume he lets me sit.
Yes, I mean, it's not his table. He's just
Sure,
sitting here. I think he's in fact sitting at the bar, so you'll have to like.
Oh, he's sitting at. Oh, even better.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I will sit down, and I will say, well, I have something of a problem. You see, it seems that I have filed some incorrect paperwork, and my ability to disentangle myself from this issue seems, quite frankly, impossible. And I was wondering whether is it even worth attempting, or should I merely just pay whatever fee they demand of me?
I think make your first roll here.
Yeah.
Because you are outright lying to him. It's a controlled position. There
Yes.
are not very high
Yeah.
stakes. You
Yeah.
might find out that you're lying, but you might have many, many reasons for doing so.
Yes.
So.
So sway.
Mhm.
Right. Controlled. Standard. It's 2 6s.
Oh, it's a critical. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I will say that this is one of the most useless rolls to ever crit on because again, it's a low stakes conversation so far. But yes.
Maybe not. Well, I think what happens is that he, for whatever reason, he takes interest in your question, and he will order you a drink. And since he's a wine guy, what he will do is he will order a wine bottle because your whole goal was to like try to get him to go to the bathroom, right? So I think your crit bonus here is he orders a wine bottle to split with you, which means he's going to be drinking more than he was really planning. But
it does also mean that I may also be drinking more than I'm planning. Yeah.
Yes, sure. But he is finding this whole affair like very tedious. But he will listen to you, and we don't have to like listen to you elaborating your whole case. I think like you've swayed him enough that he's willing to listen to you and talk to you and like have a drink with you.
I think what I want to do, by the way, is Mr. Rohini has probably told me, like, given me some information about the kind of thing that he might find interesting. So maybe part of this is I am dangling exactly the kind of bait that he does find himself intrigued by, right? So I'll mention some specific form, some specific something that I'm like, I'm having trouble with this. And he's like, wow, nobody's heard of this form except me, right?
Okay. So your crit bonus, if you want, can be that this guy has a favorite form, which is a thing to have.
Well, I mean, it's like maybe you have some specific weird legal principle that only you care about, right?
Yes, and obviously,
Mr. Rohini has told me,
Yes.
No, go on,
Obviously, he is very curious about the people who have filled out Form 43, Section 7.
Section 7. Oh my God, I've just done this to myself. Yeah, great, fantastic. I'll tell him that. That's no problem. Yeah, so maybe what I'll tell him is I filled out this form and I have the form, but it seems like in order to actually use it to get in, like the form is not enough, and I'm like, how dare you say this to me, right? So maybe I should do care about this. Yeah.
You may mark your special item, which is Form 43, Section 7, which has never before been useful in any way.
Correct. Yeah, I've never gone into the well. Why would I need to yet? By the way, I will mention this. In episode 0, I said my initial plan was to find furniture made from my ancestral mangroves and burn it in the well. That's why I had this form. I have made zero progress towards this so far.
Yes.
I just want to show everybody I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
So and that's why it costs mental load.
Yes.
So you show him this form, and he gets quite curious. And let's not beat about the bush here. You rolled a critical hit, and whether or not you can get him to like go into the bathroom is not the interesting part here.
Yeah.
It will.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, in fact, I think let's just say that I will tell him I filed this form, and let's just establish that maybe I have tried to use it. I have all of the documentation, and even though I have all of the documentation, I haven't been let in. And this is like one of the very few things in Uduwasha where like having the right documentation doesn't get you in. Probably because going into the well is mad, and you can't just do it in the form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So he will take interest in this, and he will talk at length about like, yes, well, because of the safety constraints that apply, very interestingly, you must also, and then he goes through that. Like, you basically must, like, you can legally force yourself inside, but then you must basically sign a waiver that says like, I don't hold the city responsible if I die.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, you must wear, for some obscure reason, wear a hard hat.
Yeah, great. Only a hard hat though, no gloves.
Yes.
Not necessary.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna like genuinely talk to him about this, and I'm gonna slowly but surely get sozzled, right?
Yes.
And maybe as this conversation goes, some genuine anger is coming out from Saeeda, but also because I'm talking to somebody I really dislike about something I really care about, and to my utter disgust, I find myself kind of sympathizing with him. Like, he's giving me useful advice, he's telling me things that I've always wanted to hear, right? And I don't know if anybody listening or anybody at this table has had this experience, but sometimes someone you really don't like, someone for a petty reason, will just say something you're like, wow, you're right, and then you hate yourself.
Yes,
that is what has happened.
Yes, and so he is going to go into the bathroom. Like, he's going to go do that after having had his wine. But there are two things going on here. One of them is he does not bring his briefcase into the bathroom because that would be weird.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. So that will be left here.
Yes.
Conspicuously, almost suspiciously, unoverlooked. Like, he just leaves it by the side of his chair, which is a little weird. This is something that would draw your attention normally. The other thing is that when Hardil is gone, his contact is going to conspicuously enter.
Yes, of course the contact is. Very good, yeah.
Because, I mean, you got the whole situation, like, they are delayed, but they're not delayed forever.
Yeah. No, so absolutely. And they're going to recognize the suitcase, which is why it was left behind. Absolutely,
yeah, exactly. And so a short-statured, relatively plain-looking woman with black hair in a square cut walks over towards the briefcase and, like, very visibly looks around for Hardil. Like, because
I'm just going to, I will wave at her and I will say, he's gone to see a man about a horse.
Thank you.
What?
Would you like some wine?
Why not? Why not?
Great. A third person to add to this lovely party. Fantastic. And it's on his tab. So in fact, if I can, I'm going to order another bottle of wine on his tab.
Yes.
Well, actually, it's the fourth person because the surprise guest is in the bathroom.
Yes.
Well, yes.
So she is carrying just a small folder, I think, of papers. He doesn't have a briefcase or anything. She's carrying a small... and she has the look about her that she doesn't really know that this is important. It's like he has requested to take a look at these papers.
Yeah.
And again, the whole bureaucracy operates like a little bit shadow legally, right? So it's one of those...
Absolutely.
Does he have the permission to see these papers? Probably not, but...
Yeah, but, she has the permission to show it to whoever she deems, kind of.
Yeah,
great.
So she has basically an unmarked mysterious manila folder. And this may actually be relevant.
Yeah, I recognize that you have left two things in front of me that I want to grab. But before that happens, let's see what everybody else is up to.
Yes.
And then,
before we cut to Bidrohi, I think it makes sense to see Mushfik. So Mushfik is hiding in one of the stalls.
Yeah, I kind of want to set myself up for success here, so I don't
Okay.
think Wushvik just, came into the front door, went to the bathroom, and didn't come out for, a long time. I think that might raise too many questions.
Some questions.
Yeah. So let's maybe, I don't know if it's gonna be a flashback, but what Wushvik's gonna try to do is enter either through like the back window or through the roof, and I'm also gonna try to set up some way of extracting Hardil from the bathroom. So if maybe I'll set up some kind of like rope and pulley system on the roof too.
And pulley system, yes.
So, sure.
Yeah.
Let's have this be a role of some kind. I think it's
Yeah.
also controlled for you because you have this going for you. So controlled standard tinker to set up a rope and pulley system, I guess, unless you have some other.
Yeah, I think I don't see how this can be anything else because
Okay. Okay. So I will offer you a devil's bargain in this case because I don't think you're good at this sort of thing.
No, I am not.
So you have a rope and pulley system, and I think your very funny devil's bargain will sort of affect your success here, which is you have a rope and pulley system through like the thin inner ceiling to the pub's attic, which is where you entered. So you don't have a straight way in or out. So if you accept it, you can have a bonus dice, but you can only hoist him up into the attic initially.
Okay, all right. Do I know what the layout of this bathroom is? Are there windows? Is there like I don't know, skylight?
Roll for bathroom layout.
Yeah, I was going to say actually, I think this action, like the success and consequences, it makes sense that they describe the bathroom. If this goes horribly, then the situation is very bad for you. If it goes swimmingly, maybe as a crit bonus, the layout is nicer. So I was suggesting we handle it like that.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, so it's controlled standard, and basically standard will mean like you have an opportunity to ambush him if it succeeds. But there may be some consequences or complications. Do you take the devil's bargain?
I will take the devil's bargain, and any other way to get a bonus die because I really need it. I guess I could push myself, yeah.
They don't stack with devil's bargains,
right,
unfortunately, but you can be assisted by someone.
Oh yes, I can be assisted. Sorry, I keep forgetting which one can be stacked.
Yeah.
Who can assist me? Who here has experience with ropes and pulleys?
I have an idea, actually, a kind of batty way by which Bidrohi could, if I may drop it in. You know who works with ropes and pulleys a lot is actors for being lifted into the air and whatnot, and you have been hanging out a lot at the opera. So maybe Mumtaz lent you a harness that's meant to like make her fly in some scenes.
That's not what she gave it to me for.
Fair.
But Shere Khatam, you can have it, but please give it back immediately, preferably by tonight, for reasons I will not explain to you.
Yes. Very good.
I'm glad Saeeda was not around for this conversation.
Yeah, sure, Colin will take it and holding it a bit gingerly, like, oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, let's see it. Ooh, 4 and 4.
4 and 4. Okay.
Yep.
So, your standard effect is the bathroom layout is in your favor. And by in your favor, I mean like there are a couple of like this has running water. Uduasha has modern plumbing. So there's like some sinks. There's a couple of toilet stalls, and I guess there is like a urinal type situation along one side. There is a small window, but I think you'd be hard pressed to like fit anyone in or out because you took this devil's bargain of the attic thing. However, what there is the ceiling above this bathroom is just super flimsy. It's like plywood and paper, and there is an attic up above. And your controlled consequence here will be that this attic is one of those attics that I don't know how common these are, but my grandparents had an attic like this where not all of the floor is walkable because it's like flimsy ceiling. So there's like a bunch of beams and walkways where you can move about. But if you step off one of those, you basically just go through the ceiling and fall back down.
Yeah, no, sure.
And that's and that's your controlled consequence. That this is the type of layout you're dealing with. So you have an escape route, but it goes via this kind of maze of beams.
It's fine by me. Okay. So, all right. So I suppose Mushfik is in the attic at this point, or do I need to roll to come down?
No, I don't think you need
Alright.
to. You can hide wherever you want.
All
Let's
right. Okay.
leave
So let's say I've set up the pulley, right?
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
pulley, and now I'm just hiding in one of the bathroom stalls.
Yes.
Oh, I've got a newspaper, of course. Yeah.
Yes, you will have to get this harness onto him somehow. Just
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. No, I'm here with my stuff. You know,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for.
Yes. What load are you on, incidentally? Are you normal or light?
I guess normal, right?
Uh-huh.
Actually, wait, no. What do I need? I need. Let me think about what I need. I guess the rope and pulley doesn't really count as an item because that's not
No.
on me. No,
Yeah,
that doesn't
you said
count.
that.
So,
Mhm.
yeah. Then I guess I'll have. I mean, my hook shot, obviously, and weapon. Yeah.
You don't have to
And
predefine it. You just have to decide on a load.
yeah.
But
No,
yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how much I'll need. I think I should do it.
Okay. So you're on light load. You can blend in. That's useful.
Cool. All right. So now I need to know when it's Hardil and not someone else walking into this bathroom. So what? Every now and again, I'm peering out. I'm just opening the door a little bit of the stall and
Yes.
go, "Is that him?"
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
okay, Sherekatam, he wears Muchi shoes with elevated
Oh yeah.
reverse Eldiran heels.
Yes.
All right.
There you go.
Okay.
So you know what that
Mm.
means.
You
Yeah,
can identify
okay.
him by his shoes.
Okay.
And so
So
a pair of pointy shoes. I'm establishing this about Hardil. He has very pointy shoes. Enter the bathroom.
Mhm. Tree over there in the background just going, because it's like, this is at my Hardil.
yeah.
No. I'm going because you made the Moochie joke again, and I was like, I have to remember to get back at you for that.
Uh-huh.
So Mushrik, he patiently waits until the shoes are pointing towards urinal or towards the
Yeah.
yep.
Yes.
And he waits for the pants to drop.
Yes. Sure.
All right.
What in pants to drop? Who drops their pants to use the urinal?
You know, it's more like a compromise situation is what I'm waiting for.
Yes.
And I'm good. And then he's gonna step out of the stall, and then put his sword around Hardil's neck and just quietly whisper in his ear, "Guys, who's about to have his throat cut if he doesn't come quietly says what?"
Yes. And he says what? In a very flat effect. It's just like what? And sure, roll to prowl, I guess. It's risky now. I can't justify this being controlled even if you have the drop on him. So risky standard. You can do this. You have you have cornered him.
All right, so this ambush, yeah, it's like
Yep,
this one time,
ambush.
yeah. All right,
I'm gonna assist you.
Woohoo.
Oh, well,
No
never mind.
need.
Yeah.
There's a 6.
You roll a 6, so yeah, he says what in a flat effect, and then he realizes that he has a sword to his throat, and he doesn't do anything, I think. Actually, what he does is probably he surreptitiously zips up his pants.
No, and I said, no, by all means finish. I need you to be.
I insist, Chipus. I insist.
I said, I insist you finish. This might be a long walk.
Yeah. I was gonna say that I feel like maybe his what is just fine. I'm in this situation now.
Yeah, I mean we've established that he rolls with the punches very easily.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, okay, fine then.
Okay, so Mushfik, your next action is to somehow harness this guy up and hoist him into the ceiling. Which
Oh,
how do you
I
do
like.
that?
All right, is he done?
Yes,
Okay.
he finishes up. He
All
calmly
right.
goes along with whatever the fuck is going on.
I'm going to assist you because
All right.
I mean it's a separate role, so but it's still the same
Yeah,
thing.
the next role you
Yeah,
can
so-
assist. Yeah, I was gonna assist in this role by continuing to drink with this person and delaying like whatever next thing was gonna happen. But yeah, the hoisting stuff, that's not me.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think it's a roll again, Mushfik. Just to
Yeah,
get
so
him out
I
of here. But
yeah,
I think you
I'm-
have set yourself up so well that your position is once again controlled. Like he's not going to do anything stupid.
I am nothing if not polite, so I'm gonna say, look, please, sir, please don't scream for help, sir. It doesn't matter to me at all whether you live or die. I just need you out of the way for a bit. Please tie your. So I'm gonna hand him. So I'm holding him at sword point. I'm gonna tell him that. Yeah, I'm just gonna tell him, like, please attach the tie your feet up with this rope.
This is where it's this too, because last night I showed you how to put the harness on someone.
Yeah.
And then we went through a drill to see if you can do it within 15 seconds.
Yeah, okay.
Right, and now you're giving him the drill. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I think if you're going with this action, I think it's some sort of social. It's probably command, right? You're instructing him to do this. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
It's your call.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, you could also be trying to finesse him into the harness.
Yeah, that's fair. We can also frame it as a finesse. It's controlled standard, either way.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't I take the one where I have more die?
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, have you met us? Like, I often take the one where I have less dice, just so I can roll no dice.
That's
no,
a
but finesse makes some sense since you've gone through the drill of like how to do this. So you're going to tie up his feet. Also, part of this action is actually hoisting him out here, which is definitely more of a finesse thing, like doing all of this subtly.
All right. So if you want to roll all of this into one action, then yeah, finesse.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. 2, 5, and 4.
Okay, so you succeed. First of all, you hoist him into the ceiling. It is not a problem. And this maybe isn't controlled, but maybe it is actually. So I'm gonna come up with the dumbest consequence for you. So you are holding this rope, right? You have it over a pulley system. So you pull on the rope. He goes up. He disappears out of sight. And then a person enters the bathroom to find you.
Yes.
To find this guy holding a rope leading into the ceiling. So if it had been risky, they would have spotted Hardil, but they haven't. They just see you with a contraption.
Just pretend to be a pervert.
No,
don't do that. Our reputation is already so bad.
No. I mean,
it doesn't even look perverted. It just looks weird, right? It's just
look, if anything, all the time that Mushfiq has spent with Bidrohi has embedded into him is that he's definitely not a pervert. Like, this is definitely not what Bidrohi thinks he is.
Yes.
So no. I think I'm gonna look at him and okay, I just gotta go. Didn't you see the out of order sign? I'm working here.
Nice.
Yeah.
We could frame this as a resist if you want to resist this consequence, or we could just say that you say it and delay a consequence. It's up to you. If you want to resist it, then this guy just
it's a resist. Like, I'm working here. Don't you see the hole in the ceiling? What are you doing here, man?
Then roll an appropriate resist, insight or resolve. I think probably insight to have thought of this excuse.
Yeah.
It's a little unclear what sort of repair work involves attaching a pulley system to the ceiling. But...
I need to transport materials up there anyway. It's a 2, so I get 4 stress.
It makes sense. This is a high stakes, high stress situation that you're in.
Yes.
And it's a very dumb excuse.
Yes. So the guy just goes like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then he closes the door and then he realizes, wait, there's no out of order side. This is the only bathroom.
And then he's like, and I really have to go.
Yes. By that time, you have enough time to scurry up the rope and disappear. So let's cut to Bidrohi. We have successfully healinged the lawyer.
Okay, so what's happening with me?
Yes, so... just because it's funny, let's have this cafe be like across the street from the pub. It's like really nearby.
Mm-hmm.
And Alkader is having a meeting with Pretty Chandra. And I think, this is the first time we see her. So it's important to pay some attention to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she is like a fairly short woman. She definitely has like the Kethrisi appearance. But I think, you have... All right, Bidrohi actually hasn't. But the other Kethrisi people have seen the gentleman back home. And, it's a very stratified society.
Mm-hmm.
He is like dressed very finely in Uduashan fashions, and but I think it's evident that she's a little penniless. So basically, I guess she has nice clothes on, but they're a little bit out of date fashion-wise, and maybe even a little bit worn. She's down on her luck. Things have not been going well for her, and she looks at Alkader. and picks up, bats herself with a fan, and she says, well, why is your contact taking so long? It's enough that I have to wait for the damned lawyer.
Okay, Prince, you haven't given the most important detail, which is she an attractive young woman?
I think, yes, reasonably attractive. She's like, just to make this, interesting, I don't know that she's necessarily Bidrohi's type. I think the thing about her, right, is that she looks very, very posh. But she doesn't have the natural charisma, like the natural bearing, to be like attractive in and of herself, if you see what I mean. She's the sort of person who wears nice clothes but doesn't quite carry them.
Or maybe Bidrohi is 19. He has a type, but that changes all the time.
Yes.
We shall see how things go.
We shall see how things go indeed. But yes, she is older than 19, but not like a lot. I think she's a fairly young woman, and what I'm trying to convey is that she could be reasonably attractive, but she's also a bit insecure. And
deep down inside, Bidrohi is also insecure.
Yeah. And she slams down the fan and looks at Alkader, and he says, "Oh, well," and he looks at his watch and looks over to Bidrohi, I guess for clues. I guess Bidrohi is. Are you doing this Cyrano de Bergerac style? Are you hidden in the bushes outside or something? Is that what's going on?
I actually have no idea what I'm doing. I think this is the part of the plan where I was like really just entirely winging it. I think I am in the pub. In the cafe, not the pub, because the pub's a different building. I am in the cafe, just having a nice, relaxing Uduashan tea, which isn't real tea, but that's just how it is. And just watching the situation unfold, and then I kind of like give him a thumbs up, because let's see.
Yep, absolutely. So he brushes off his vest a little bit, and he says, "Don't worry about it, my dear. Don't worry at all. You see, when my contact gets here, this whole business about the money, it will all be taken care of. All be taken care of." Then he nods self-satisfied and says, "What do you mean, this business about the money? I owe the Majesty Bank money. All right? The Majesty Bank. Do you understand what that means?" Yes, I'm familiar with it. Plenty of people back home ended up in trouble with that institution, but fret not. I have a friend.
Okay.
Do I know who this person is? Is he talking about me, or is it someone else that we haven't heard of yet?
Okay, I will let you choose unusually, Klow, because I think it's funniest if I choose. So either he is entirely bullshitting and he does not have a plan at all, or he has a plan and it's really terrible. I will let you choose which one of these is true on this particular occasion.
I think he has a terrible plan.
Okay, good. So then he has a contact that you'd really rather not be here. Perfect.
Okay.
So that person is on the way. And the question is if you know about it. I don't think you do, but he nods and he's like, "Yes, don't worry. The whole bank thing, it will be dealt with."
This is the first time I'm hearing about any of this, so I'm like, huh.
Yes, of course.
Okay. I want to see who this person is, because I don't know how to play this yet.
Yes, excellent. So, I only have one idea, and I'm going with it because it's dumb as fuck.
God.
Yes. Well, you see, in Uduasha, money is not always as important as connections and collaborations with the right person. And it just so happens that there's a man who's very interested in your case, he says with a bright smile, and then he says, "Ah, here he is now, Captain Peregrine, come in."
Oh, why would you say yes?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Always pick the option where Alkader and Kadam doesn't know what he's doing, because then you can tell him what to do.
So Captain Peregrine's about to stroll into the... Well, yes. I guess he just strolls in, right?
Yes, he just strolls in. And he says, yes, good afternoon. I understand your lady friend... yes. Very unfortunate. Don't you worry about it. This sort of matter can generally be handled. Say, your family, Vidaha, back in Kethris, I have a couple of questions about them. And he glides down and takes a seat, and what is going to happen is that he is going to start. Now he is turning this around. Now this is becoming his investigation, and unless you do something, he's going to finish his investigation clock to figure out, like, why is this woman not noble and what happened to the paper.
Okay. Bidrohi is going to spring his plan. He had arranged this, and he was trying to keep the actual outcome of it open-ended. He will spin the narrative he'd spin the narrative afterwards to suit whatever we need in terms of, like, do we want this woman to be actually impressed with Al-Qadir or not? But this cafe also happens to be So we have some rivals. We have Jasper's Jazilskis, which is Omid's group. We have the Falling Star. Is it possible at all that this is the favorite drinking ground of one of the Falling Star people that we pissed off?
Sure. So,
but do they know me? Is the thing. I mean, one of them does. Hambi Rao knows me.
Hambi Rao knows you. Yes.
Yeah, because
Very
what
well.
I want is someone to start a fight with me, and it's not my fault.
Okay. Does it make sense that it's Hambi Rao, or does it make sense to be Turzan Diamond Tooth? No, Turzan Diamond Tooth doesn't actually know you.
Yeah, but maybe now he does, because afterwards people knew about the rising moon, and I'm a very public person. So maybe he does.
Yeah, I think Turzan makes more sense, just because Hambi Rao is actually, like, somewhat level-headed, and Turzan Diamond Tooth is an absolute idiot.
Yes.
He's the sort of person who would do this.
Yeah. Just like me.
Sure. So your plan is at the very moment that Peregrine enters and starts fiddling with this investigation.
Turzan Diamond Tooth he's been there for all this time, but I've been hiding from him. And now is when I strategically stand up and kind of like stretch my arms, and then I kind of like go, "Oh, Al-Qadir sir, it's me, Bidrohi An Khatam. Remember me? And hello, Captain Peregrine. It's me, Bidrohi An Khatam of the Rising Moon Sword School."
Okay, roll something to provoke Turzan. And the reason that Turzan is here is that you have provided him with vouchers. I think this is how
for fuck's sake!
He was promised a free coffee. That's why he's here.
He was like,
I mean, it's very important that we note. Yeah, he's a moron. Turzan Diamond Tooth, like, incredible. Will cut you to bits by just looking at you. Has 4 brain cells, and they're all devoted to his teeth.
He's trying to cash in, like, a hand-drawn voucher for a free coffee.
Okay, there's a very quick zero stress flashback where I'm like, okay, remember Balmurad, how you put some shit into Turzan Diamond Tooth's mailbox, so you know where it is. This time, don't put the shit, put this.
Yes.
Very good.
He has a voucher for a free coffee and cake. And he is very aggressively trying to cash out his free coffee and cake.
I mean, he's a celebrity. They probably give it to him. But yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's what's happening.
Yeah. Let's see if you can distract him. So it's an action, and I think it's risky. It's almost desperate, but you're controlling the situation. So let's split the difference.
Sway?
Sounds good.
Okay. Risky, standard. Do I have any sort of relevant?
I feel like I don't know how anybody could help you with this.
I have a devil's bargain for you, and it's a really dumb devil's bargain.
Oh god, yeah, go on.
The waitress that Turzan is harassing is like a very beautiful young lady who does not deserve this kind of treatment.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Okay, tell you what.
Bidrohi, I'm on my feet. I'm on my knees.
Okay, tell you what. It's no longer an action role because I'm going to demand satisfaction. So I'm taking this devil's bargain and I'm just making it fiction.
Okay.
Yes.
Like,
very good.
Diamond Tooth sir, how are you? Diamond Tooth sir, what are you doing? What is this kind of behavior? Look, listen, can you not see that this young lady is a minimum wage worker? I don't know that they have minimum wage here. They don't have minimum wage here. Can you not see that this young woman is both very, very beautiful and also very, very underprivileged. Whereas, sir, you are both very privileged and very beautiful. This is very big power imbalance. And, sir, I think you should apologize to her right now, or I will defend her with my sword.
Okay, so take 1 stress to draw their full attention, plus 1 stress for eating. Do you want any extra features? He has no companions, so avoiding his companions is not. But do you want to draw a supportive audience from the waitress? You can pay an extra stress for that. Or
Actually, I'll just very briefly retcon the very last thing I said, because I don't want to say I will defend her with my sword, because then I'm the aggressor.
Yeah.
I want to provoke him into a fight where it's his fault.
Yes, absolutely. I buy that. You will defend her honor.
Yes. Sir, I will do what I have to do, but I would rather not, because you are very cool.
So how many stress are you spending?
Okay, yes. For a few minutes rather than a few moments. Yes, I think I would like a few minutes. I mean, I assume that I'll get their full attention anyway. There's no one else for them to fight. Right. Yeah.
No.
They don't have companions. Supportive audience. Yeah, supportive audience. So 3 stress.
3 stress.
So, yeah. The baseline 1 stress, the few minutes, and the supportive audience.
Yep. So people hear your name being shouted out tonight. I guess someone, like, you say this, there's an eerie silence as Turzan turns around, frustrated with his lack of free coffee. And then someone in the back of the cafe just pipes up like, "Ketris in the mud!"
Why does it sound like that?
Because it's a very small person.
It may even be a child.
Yes, it may even be a child, in fact, who saw the
Ketris in the mud. Oh, this is a very good message to put forward before the Ketrisi gentle lady.
Yes.
Maybe she's a patriot.
Yes, and so Turzan Diamondtooth holds up his empty mug, which he brought himself for some deranged reason.
It's his lucky mug.
Yes, he holds up his mug. That says number 1 Ustad. And he points at it and he goes, "I have not had my coffee yet, so I guess I'll have to warm up some other way. Punk." Sets down his favorite mug very carefully.
Sir, if you warm up even more, I don't know if Uduasha can contain 2 fires as hot as the Udu.
Yeah,
it's a very strange sort of challenge I'm doing, where I'm gassing him up and complimenting him.
Yes. And
I think if he had 5 brain cells, he would be confused. But he doesn't have that many brain cells, so he's not confused.
And more crucially, he has no coffee. So he advances on you, and I mean, he always carries his sword on him, so I guess he draws it. And Peregrine, who is after all law enforcement, looks up at this in some dismay and discombobulation. And yeah, you have what you want. Turzan Diamondtooth is fighting you, and you have the attention of the entire cafe. You also have the attention of your rival, Peregrine. So,
but he's a rival because he's looking into me, but he doesn't hate me, I don't think. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So Turzan Diamondtooth has drawn his sword on me, and I'm like,
what do you do?
Okay, this is serious honor for me to have sword drawn by Turzan Diamondtooth, but I mean, yeah, you know what? I'm going to draw the sword out as well. I'm going to draw my own sword, and I'll be like, "Sir, I am doing this for your own good. Please don't make a spectacle of yourself. I mean, you are, of course, very spectacular, and you make a spectacle of yourself all the time in Colosseum, but that's a different environment. It's very different here. This man is member of the Falconers, sir. Please see reason." And I'm going to defend myself as I'm trying to pretend I'm talking him down.
Okay, so what are you actually trying to accomplish here?
Okay, so here's the thing. I can't actually beat him in a fight. Right, he's much better than I am. I don't know how hard he's going to try to beat me, but I can't beat him. So either I am going to roll skirmish or finesse or something like that to defend myself, or I'm going to be rolling a social action to look good while I hold my own. And the action is actually targeted at Peregrine or someone. What do you think makes sense?
I'm asking what you hope to achieve here. Like, what is your ideal outcome? Because I get that you want to defend yourself. That's kind of baked into it. But like, what sort of message do you want to send here?
In fact, I think my main target here, ultimately, what I'm trying to achieve here, is for Preeti Chandra. That's her name, right?
Yeah.
Preeti Chandra to know about the Rising Moon Sword School, to know that there's some Ketrisi people here who are like, like the Ankatams. And, there's people here who are really trying to defend the honor of Ketris. And,
Yes.
okay, so she's a gentle woman, which means obviously we have a class antagonism. But maybe she doesn't see it that way. She probably just sees it as like, oh yeah, Ketris forever, right? So I'm trying to impress her and get her on our good side.
It's a weird thing, but yes, then it sounds like a sway.
And
it's desperate mostly because like, it's not desperate. He's not going to kill you in open street. Actually, it's risky. And the main risk you have is like losing the fight. Like, he won't kill you, but he might fuck you up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it might be desperate in the sense that I might just end up looking really, really bad and drawing a lot of attention on me.
We can frame it as desperate that way, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you convinced me. It's desperate standard. Congratulations, you made it.
Yay! Desperate standard it is. It's a sway.
Yep.
I am defending
Don't get your
myself.
shit kinged in.
Kinged in?
Kicked in.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Is there any devil's bargains here?
Is there a devil's bargain? I can only think of one, and it's super stupid.
Go on.
So,
it's
I
that
don't
kind
know.
of day.
Yes. The one I can think of is like you swing your sword around like very flashily and you break his mug.
Oh my god, you gotta do this! He's gonna hate you forever!
Yes.
It's very symbolic because if this goes well, this represents the moment when he's no longer the number one ustad.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's going to be me, but he will no longer be the number one ustad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Praying this works.
Yes.
Wait, don't roll. Have you rolled?
Yes, I have rolled.
2 6s!
2 6s. Okay. The crit bonus here is you don't get disarmed. You like hold your own. I think that's enough for a crit bonus. Like, as you said, this guy's very, very, very good.
Yeah.
So, you can't win this fight still, even with a crit. But what you can do is not lose it. You can like fight him to a standstill. You also break his mug, piss him off, and Preeti Chandra is very impressed, and she is definitely aware of you. And this is a good thing because she was investigating what the hell happened to her property. But this is unrelated. This is just like, wow, hey, Kethri is really cool. And so yeah, everything just kind of goes your way. You cross swords with him like a couple of blows. It's over very quickly, and then he turns, and he goes like, "My mug!" And because he has 5 brain cells, he doesn't immediately realize that it got knocked off the table in this fight.
Oh, incredible!
He just like stops fighting you and gets more concerned about his mug. He was like, "Great! Now what am I gonna put my coffee in? This is the worst day ever."
As he turns away, I'm going to very theatrically go and then kind of like spin around, and I'm going to land crash bang into the table that Preeti Chandra, Alkadir, and Captain Peregrine at. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just break up this meeting. This meeting will not go forward any further.
Yes.
I'm just going to make it impossible for them to reasonably continue with the meeting. And I don't know if this is another action, but I'm going to pretend that I got beaten up and be like the gallant defender of Kethrisi honor. And also, sorry about the meeting.
Yes, I think you can achieve this. And so Peregrine looks your way. I think, since things went so well for you here, I think actually Peregrine will see you and Alkadir and he will connect the dots. That like, oh yeah, you are just up to some shenanigans again. Well, I'm not falling for it. And he's just going to believe that you and Alkadir have some cunning plan to bait him here and distract him, which isn't actually true, but he's like too smart by half here. And so he doesn't advance his investigation because he assumes that you are trying to distract him with this whole thing.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay. And if there's a moment afterwards, maybe once we're outside in the cafe and I'm like, ow, ouch, oh, look, I'm so hurt. And, then I point at my actual lingering
Yeah.
injuries. And how is Priti Chandra reacting to me, by the way?
Yes. So she is absolutely smitten by you. I mean, you rolled a critical, so she looks at you and she goes, "I had no idea there were such sword fighters in back home. Priti Chandra Vidaha," she says, introducing herself because she has no reason to, and she says like, "And what? Pray tell, what house are you of?"
Oh God, do I dare?
He just assumes that you are nobility because you could fight with a sword, real cool.
Do I dare? Do I do it? Do I do it?
Yes.
Yes.
Do I dare to eat a peach?
I'll be like, oh, I am Bidrohi of House Ankhatam. And then I kind of like give Al-Qadr a look of like play along. Just like a real quick glance. Bidrohi of House Ankhatam. We are of a gentleman family that has fallen on hard times. Very, very hard. And we are here making ends meet in Uduasha in the hospitality ghetto. But I assure you, ma'am, even though we are on hard times, we have not forgotten that the noble obligation that the gentlemen have to shepherd the common people of Kethris. And so we cross swords with any miscreants who dare dishonor and come and who want to take advantage of the reduced circumstances of the Kethrisi population here in Uduasha. We would love very much to show you around our area. And Al-Qadr sir, he is our spiritual guru.
Yes, indeed, what he said. No compromise with evil forces.
No compromise whatsoever. So yeah.
Al-Qadr throws in, and she looks between you and Al-Qadr and goes, "But is this? I had absolutely no idea. I thought you were just some bureaucrat or some petty politician," he says, looking at Al-Qadr.
No, have you forgotten his last name? Ankhatam.
Yes, Ankhatam. Petty politician? No, not I. I have greater ambitions.
Nobel politician. Sir is. I think. Okay, so honestly, I think it's very clear that I'm out of character. I'm just making all this up. I have no idea where I'm going with this, honestly.
Yes.
But I think also I am trying to distract her away from. I mean, we have successfully prevented her from going forward in this current avenue through kidnapping Hardil, and I think now I'm just like throwing more oil in the water.
Yes, exactly. I think now you're just confusing it. So I was about to say, let's cut back to Saeeda, who is the heart of this. So you have successfully thrown Peregrine off the trail. You did break Tursan Diamond Tooth's mug, which there may be consequences for that down the line. But let's cut back to Saeeda, who is, there is a woman here waiting, there is a tempting manila folder, and there is a tempting briefcase. Do you do anything? If not, something's going to happen.
Yes, I am going to do something. Because judging by the total lack of sound and the general, wow, I can only think of non-English words. Hullabaloo. Yes, that's a good word. That everything just sort of kind of gone fine. I'm going to be like, oh, well, maybe the plan has gone okay. In which case, I'm going to look at this woman and I'm going to say, I won't lie to you. I think that he's having some kind of stomach issue. If you want to just leave the folder here, you can see that he's left his briefcase. I'm sure, he trusts the bartender to look after it. And, I'm going to be here for a while because, well, I'm going to have to finish this bottle, but I don't want to keep you. So, and I want to just convince her that, like, she can leave the folder with me. And then she's not really leaving with me. She's leaving it with Hardil. Which is fine.
We don't know anything about this woman, so let's just say risky standard, and let's see if you can do it. Let's see if she.
Yeah, great. Risky standard. I have. I'm good at swaying, which is nice. I'm just gonna roll this. I think it's fine. I was wondering whether I wanted to. No, I will push for a die here because if this goes well, then like this just finishes the score. So risky standard. 1 bonus die from pushing. 6.
It's a 6. Lovely. You're rolling so well this entire score.
Yeah, I mean, like, Yeah, this is ridiculous, to be honest. And like the
So,
other
yes.
3 dice were all fails.
Yes. So she nods and she says, "Well, I want no part of this, and you found out nothing about this from." And then she realized that you had no idea who the fuck she is, because she never introduced herself, and so she just puts down the folder and leaves. And she's like, "Well, if there is trouble from this, Hardil might be upset, but no one knows it was me, so
Yeah,
like no one
exactly.
else."
And once that happens, I'm gonna finish this bottle, by the way.
Mhm.
Then I'm gonna pick up the folder. I'm gonna pick up the briefcase, which I know is trapped, so I'm not gonna bother opening it.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna calmly walk out.
Okay, I think we only have one element left. This has gone so well. And
Yeah.
the one element left is Mushfik getting out via the attic. So you've
Yes.
hoisted Hardil up, you climbed up yourself. You're in this like kind of derelict attic. And yeah, I mean, you sort of scouted it out before.
Actually, so Hardil, he's got like he can walk around, right? I mean, I had to tie
guess
him
so.
up. Well, I tied up his feet to hoist him up so he doesn't struggle too
Yeah.
much. But now that we're here,
You untie him.
yeah,
He
I'll
kind of
untie his
rolls
feet. But
twice.
like, yeah, I mean, I think he understands that if he tries to run, I'm gonna stick him
Yeah.
in the back with my sword.
You have a weapon, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He
So
can
course you
close
are.
his eyes.
yes. So yeah, just to say that, all right. Like, I think Mushfik is pleasantly surprised about how all this went. So he says, he addresses Hardil and says, like, you've been really calm about all this. Like, thanks a lot. This this went way better than I thought it would.
Don't admit that to him.
Huh?
Yeah. And he says, yes, there would have been other approaches. I assume you're after the contents of my briefcase.
I'm going to level with you, Hardil. I don't know why I'm here. They just told me that you were going to cause some trouble for us, so it was an off day for me, so I'm here. Yeah.
Well, in that case, I have a proposal, he says calmly. And he just says, if you do not know why you're here, and truthfully, I don't know why I'm here, how about I just give you 4 coin and we'll call it even, and I walk out of here and go about my business.
Oh my god.
Oh no! I don't think I could do that. No. No, I made a.
You should take the money.
Yeah, huh? I should.
I mean, like, as in, like, out of character, he doesn't know that, like, we've stolen his stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in character, maybe you can't actually. That's fair.
No. In character, I can't. Much because no, like, sorry, my word is my bond. Can't. It's all right. Hey, but maybe I'll kidnap you some other time, huh?
Okay.
Does Hardil laugh?
No, but I am. I think he looks
No,
amused.
all right.
I am just. He raises an eyebrow at you, and I think how we'll handle this, since we're aiming to wrap up the score anyway. I think he will come with you. Actually,
Yeah.
like, you have prepared a way out of here. I don't see any point in like throwing in any further obstacles. But unless you do something about it, unless you like try to distract or divert him, he is going to have his wits about him when he joins the rest of the crew.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
So
to be honest, go on.
basically, if you don't do anything, he will have some time to formulate a plan in his head. But I don't think it's in character for Mushfik to like try to stop him or distract him or like fast talk him or something. So
no,
if
I
you
don't
just
think
take
so.
him where he's going, yeah.
Yeah, I look, this has been a very productive meeting. I'm gonna say that. Look, you've been so cooperative. Why don't we just, let's just walk out of here, right? We both know where we stand.
Very well.
Yeah.
Very well, he says. Yeah.
In fact, I now wonder whether when Saeeda meets him, we can just be like, "Oh, hi, you forgot your briefcase." I could just hand it back to him. And like, well, the folder is clearly what we want, so I'm just gonna pretend that we never got it, like she never arrived.
Okay. Yes.
You know
Sure.
what I mean?
Why not? So you're going to kidnap Hardil, politely give him his briefcase back, and tell him he can go?
No, I want to speak to him before he goes.
Okay. right, we have a little time left of the session,
Yep.
so I guess let's do that. You all just kind of meet up in an alleyway where Mushfiq has Hardil, like not at sword point because you can't just walk around with a drawn sword, right? But
Yeah.
he understands. So you all just convene.
Mm. Guys, everything is going really, really great. I'll tell you all about it later, but we have like many new fans, and also we are totally. Wait, is this Hardil Subramanyan?
Yeah, the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Hardil Subramanyan, I have been wanting to do this for a long time. It is not my policy to, torture a prisoner or anything like that. So I'm just telling you that I wanted to do this long before we knew we were going to capture you. Okay? Is that okay? Can I say that?
He raises an eyebrow at you and he says, "Can I just speak with your supervisor instead?" He says, and he looks at Saeeda.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at him and first. So I think to be clear, what I've done is that I've like put the folder in somewhere where he can't see it. Okay, I've already
Yeah.
stashed the folder.
Mhm.
I'm gonna hand the suitcase back to him,
Yeah.
and I will say, first I will say this to Bidrohi. I will say, you need to stop kind of front loading everything you say with like your own personal monologue. Okay, you just need to talk like this. And then I'm going to look at Hardil and I'm going to say, now Ramu, whom you know, was not my favorite person, but he was right about one thing. He never gave in to your nonsense. What I think my young compatriot here is trying to inform you is that we don't appreciate what you tried to do. You tried to take advantage of people who were already in desperate need. And I'm not about to cut your throat because, well, it's impolite and also would create a lot of trouble. But I was doing this to impress upon you this message. You better stay gone. Yeah. And I'm gonna try and pretend the entire thing was like me,
Yeah.
like somehow doing this and like misdirecting him away from
Yes.
like
Yeah.
the other thing.
I don't think there's an action here. It's not interesting. Like you've
Sure.
already won this score so hard. So he sighs and he says, "Well, I don't know your name, my friend, but if the message you are trying to send is to not ever do business with the people of Kethris again, I believe I did not need to be further instructed." Because this has gone horribly.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I will say-
auntie, can I just give him one kick in testicles?
I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna look back at
Just one.
Hardil and I'm gonna say I have no doubt that this man wears a codpiece. I have no doubt that he wears a codpiece, by the way. I think that like one of the reasons it took him a while to zip back up is that he was like pinning the codpiece back before he zipped up.
Yes. He looks coolly at Bidrohi and he just says, "If it helps, I was going to bribe this gentleman with 4 coin."
Okay, that helps very much. Please make donation to the noble cause. And okay, instead of kicking you in balls, I will impose one penalty on you. It is my right as Ramu's son. And I'm going to square up to him. And I will be like, you are not worthy of wearing Muchi. And I'm going to take his shoes from him.
You're going to steal his shoes?
And let that be a lesson to him.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, what is going to happen if you take his shoes is that he's not going to pay you a bribe, actually, because this is already a donation. But
Are these shoes worth 4 coin? I mean, I guess they must be.
probably they are. We know that he's a very fancy dresser. So, so he steps out of the shoes and he says, "Very good. I will consider that matter settled, and I will not be taking on any more Kethrisi clients, gentlewoman or not. Good day." And then he walks indignantly away with no
Excellent.
shoes. in his
Yeah,
briefcase.
I know. I've been there.
Okay,
And-
Auntie, look, the eyelets are made of real Severosi silver.
But surely Bidrohi won't just keep the shoes, right? Surely he will sell them and donate the proceeds to the Hitler's cause.
Okay, Bidrohi, now you must take the ghost weapon thing, because if the shoes have Severos's silver in it, it means that they can be used to kick ghosts. I just want to point this out to you.
Oh, Jesus.
That is true. Oh my god. That is why he wears the Muchi shoes.
Yes.
So that he can kick ghosts.
Yes.
Mm.
It is last ditch defense. You can't bribe a ghost, so if one turns up, you need to be able to kick it in the nuts.
I think as I realized this, I looked down at the cowboy boots I'm wearing, which are also Muchi,
Mm.
as we've established. And I'd be
Yes.
like, well, what do you know, son of a gun?
I'm gonna look back at Bidrohi and I'm gonna say, are we done now? Can
Yes,
we
we are.
please leave? Thanks. And then this is when you realize one of the reasons that they're acting a bit out of that they're talking a bit more casually is also that they're drunk. Right? Like she's like just like talking more as if she's your age or she's like among contemporaries. Because she's down 2 bottles of wine now.
Well,
Okay. Two bottles of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because it was all on Hardil's tap.
so I think this accomplishes the score with flying colors. It was a very weird score.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have
We
you
just
have successfully-
succeeded at every turn, is
Yes.
the thing.
Yeah, you did. So you have successfully prevented Priti Chandra from investigating this matter any further, both because she is now distracted with it, going like, hey, my Ketrisi countrymen are actually cool, maybe I shouldn't marry into an Udwashan family.
Maybe I should marry into House Ankatham.
Yeah, maybe. Or at least she's gotten her eye up to, like, previously I think she thought she was just, alone in the city and needed this proof to make connections with the local nobles. Maybe now she has changed her mind. And the other thing is, Hardil will not be working with her anymore. And to be honest, she probably needed someone of Hardil's caliber to untangle Mr. Rohini's mess that Saeeda created. So, yeah, I think you achieved your goals, weirdly. So,
I'm going to add her as a contact. Is that fair?
yep, please
Priti
do.
Chandra, what was the last name?
Videha.
Videha.
V. How do you spell that?
Yeah.
V-I-D.
V-I-D-H-A.
Okay. A gentleman of Kethris.
Mhm.
I think the
We're
word
now
gentleman.
establishing that in Kethersi, gentleman is gender neutral.
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. We shall see what comes of that.
Yes. Let us do payoff and then XP and then wrap it up. Here close the doors to the house of endings. Those who dwell within are Zoheb, called Klow, Aadiyat, called Zoheb, Soumithri, called Tree, and Emma. I have been Prince, your host. Our city of Udwasha is based on Blades in the Dark by John Harper and Evil Hat Productions, with special thanks to Johnstone Metzger. Follow us on Twitter or support us on kofi.com/desperateattune. If you want to engage further with us, we also have a Patreon at patreon.com/desperateattune, where you will get our newsletter, extra content, and updates from Udwasha.
On the next episode of Desperate Attune,
I've come all the way from Sunfall.
all the way from Sunfall. I've never been to Sister Moss, have you been to Sunfall?
I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. Then fuck that place. Absolute bitch ass place. I will never go to Sunfall. Sister Moss, I hope you have never been to Sunfall. Because it sounds like you are better than it. So what
I have never and I shall never.
Excellent. Very good. Very good attitude. That is how we should. Fuck Sunfall. We all hate Sunfall here. Yes.
Where's Sunfall?
Very good question. I see. Looking at Clem.
It's in hell. Don't go there.